myself from it. I'm not running for anything. I'm not going anywhere.
All right, we're live now on Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to another episode. That's a good start. Welcome to another episode of Tommy Cowles Live or Tea in Space. I'm not sure what this is, but I know what I'm listening to. I'm listening to the governor of New York ask for more money and say that he can't do all the testing without the federal government's help. A bailout. Another bailout for failing businesses like states that have squandered their money. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Test. Is this working? How important are tests? They seem really important right now. We need to test everybody for COVID. Here's my theory. Do you want to know my theory? Do you even care? Do you care what my theory is? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what my theory is until someone asks me. No, I'll probably tell you anyways. Eventually. These guys get a lot of time on TV now, huh? The governors and the president. It's like you got at least 4, 5, 6 hours of non-stop rhetoric and propaganda. This is fantastic. That's entertainment. The new normal. Can we talk about the new normal? Because I'm not sure I like this new normal. And when it comes to my rights being taken away. Rights. Just rights as a human being to make their own decisions. You know, trusting the community to act accordingly. But we take our cues from these people, don't we? Why? I'd like to know why we take our cues from the useful idiots that are on television. Governor Cuomo, testing is critical to reopen economy. Nobody wants the economy open more than I do. Governor Cuomo. Nobody wants the economy open more than I do. President Trump. Nobody in politics seems to really care about anything else except for profit. That's true. Under the disguise of we're helping you out. Shameless. It's shameless. It's also shameless that we buy it. The mass ignorance around the world in regards to their own governments. Followers. We've become followers. And it's like we can't even talk about it anymore because we've been marginalized somewhat. Like if we have a different opinion, like let's say about this COVID thing. COVID. If you have a different opinion in regards to what it is, where it came from, or the crazy rules that are set in place right now by our leaders, if you disagree with them, then it would seem that 80% of the population, well, maybe close, I don't know what the exact percentage is, but a good number of people
which is what he said,
We'll make it so that you feel like an idiot if you have a different opinion. So this is not a good thing. There's a lot of pressure, social pressure, to do what the other does, and not sure this is a good idea. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing this. Partially. Partially, it's also because I have nothing else to do, right? What else would I be doing? Working? Working. That's hilarious. Did you hear him? When he said, coffee's good today. Coffee's brought to you by Kicking Horse Coffee. I went with a different blend today. I can't really see it from here, but it's tasty. Kicking Horse Coffee. Okay, I can't handle this guy anymore. That's like 5 minutes of the same drivel that we've been hearing for quite a while now. Months. A lot of pie charts, bar graphs, curves, lines. Data. These people seem to know a lot about a lot, eh? And a lot about testing. The various companies that are looking to get into the business of testing. That's the new business, by the way, testing. If you want to get into a new business, open a lab in your community so that you can work for the government and make sure that everybody's tested and recorded, because that's a good thing. I don't feel really good about it though, dude. I don't. The world's gone a little batty. A little nutso. Crazy. Insane. So, what do we do about it? Like, seriously, we're all a little mentally ill. So can we snap out of it? I think we can, but it requires a few things. It might require some jazz. So I'm going to try to get some jazz going right now. You know, just because the world's falling apart and people are going crazy doesn't mean that we can't enjoy it with a little jazz. Some spring breakfast jazz. Some relaxing jazz.
Strong Spirit Online Casino. Sign up today and get 78 free spins.
No. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in any online gaming at all. However, I am interested in lounge music. Relaxing morning bossa nova jazz music for work, study, you know, spring. If you like spring, this is good music. Just setting the mood, really. Setting the mood for the circus, Governor Cuomo circus in New York. I'm watching CNN right now. The most trusted name in news. That's a sad statement. Is that true? Is that true? Because they say it, is that true? Makes me want to watch Fox. It's the same, but different. Hey, essentially what we got here, and I know I wasn't gonna give my opinion until someone asked, and no one has. Here's my opinion. Should we start from scratch? Let's go back to the beginning, because I don't feel like everybody is here yet. Like, we need to get this show rolling. What do I have to do? Do I have to be more animated? Do I have to bring in the puppets again? I'm not sure. Puppets usually work. I tried being silent for like an extended period of time. That didn't work. People didn't get it. So now I'm going to try to use my big boy words and figure out what it is that's happening in the world today. Right now. Well, right now, it's sunny in Penticton, British Columbia, Canada. Staying at the Beaumont Motel right now. Most likely it'll be here all year. Seeing that the government shut down all the businesses, so it doesn't seem like a really good idea to have a motel open in the summer, even though that's when they make most of their money. So they had to transition into longer term housing, at least for the year. So I'm here because I'm cheap. Now, it's not that I'm cheap, actually. I'm actually not cheap. When I have money, I spend it. I usually give it away. But I don't have any money. So this place is reasonable. I think I can scrounge up enough to stay here for the year. And thank you to those people that have actually supported that and made it so that it can happen for another month. So that's awesome. That's great. Not that it wouldn't. You know, here's the deal. The universe takes care of itself. And if you trust it, it usually works out. So, here's my advice to everybody today. You want some advice from a stranger? Do what you love. Enjoy it. Even if it's by yourself. Even if everybody thinks you're crazy, do it. Because you know what? There's always jazz. Spring breakfast jazz. Is it spring yet? I never know when that happens. Does it matter? The leaves are not on the trees yet. I know there's some. It's spring. Let's just say it's spring. Good morning. So what do you guys want to talk about? You know, just recently on YouTube, I've been getting some comments saying, hey, good content, buddy. Well done. Good content. Way to go. Keep it up. Keep up the content. That's the first time I've heard that. So it gives one a little bit of a nudge in the right direction. Because quite frankly, this is a very lonely operation. But that's okay. Don't worry about me. I lived in a cave for 10 years. So what were we talking about? Well, it is Saturday, 9:08 a.m., April 18th, 2020. And, watching the news coverage of Albany, New York, and Governor Cuomo. It's the breaking news today. You know, people are dying. Yeah, they're dying. As if that doesn't happen every day. Every moment of every day. But now we're making a huge deal of it because why? It's amazing the things that we focus on when it serves our purpose. You know? How is this serving? How is this serving your purpose? That's what I'd like to talk about. How does this serve you well? Do you really think that, should I turn down the music? Is that too loud? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Testing. It's good. I think it's good. I think this sounds really good. I love the music. Carry on with your conversation. Okay. So. What's that? Is that a couple walking hand in hand? There's another one. There's a lot of love in the air. There's a lot of love. There's also a lot of paranoia and worry. Can we stop doing that? Hey. I want to talk about this coronavirus thing. Yesterday, I won't mention her name because I don't do that. But I feel like it because I know so many people in this town. And I feel like, for the most part, I've been dismissed completely. Which makes sense. Stands to reason, seeing that, I don't know, people form opinions. That's a long story. We'll get into that some other time. But let's get back to that conversation I was having with this lady as she was walking her dogs. Who I know in town. Hi, Tom. Hey, you. How's it going? Good? Small talk? Yeah? And then what? Then we're talking about the COVID thing. And I say, what do you think? Says, well, I just want to stay healthy. I said, don't you think it's a little unrealistic for, you know, for these rules to be implemented by your government? I don't want to argue with you. And she walks away. That's exactly how that went down. Exactly. Word for word. No, it wasn't word for word, but that was pretty much how it went down. And then I said, as she was leaving, I said, I didn't know we were arguing. I had no idea we were arguing. So the argument, that mentality, that feeling, like whether you believe one thing or another, that now we can't even talk with one another with differing opinions. This is ludicrous. Don't you think? Come on. Everybody. Give your head a shake. Oh, I think I cracked something. But really, give your head a shake. If we're not talking about it, if we're not educating, like if I'm wrong, educate me. I'm here, I'm talking with you, and I'm not arguing. What the fuck? So here we are. We're talking. You and me. Live on YouTube. I've got a picture now, live streaming. I figured it was a stupid thing on my end with the OBS. I pressed the wrong button, let's just say. And then I didn't have any video. All fixed now. 'Cause I'm a genius. Spring breakfast jazz. Bossa Nova. Do you like springtime? I like springtime too. Everything grows in the spring. But you know what? I like all the seasons now. I used to not like fall very much, but I quite like fall now. I like all the seasons equally as much. There was a shift. Somewhere down the line there was a shift. I like the heat. I like the cold. I like the rain. And I like the snow. I also like spring. I like the flowers. I like the smells. And I like walking hand in hand in the park with masks on. Just love that. Romance. The new normal. Welcome to the new normal. Nope, not on my watch. Fuck off. You know, here's one thing I do know. There are a few people out there that don't mind this this separation, this not touching of one another, or being very far away from each other. There are people that subscribe to this way of being. Maybe it's not such a great idea to impose these restrictions on everybody. Like, you can have those viewpoints and stay clear of everybody, but does that mean everybody has to do it? So, like here in my town, we can't, what? We can't go to the park and watch a concert at the band shell? Oh, we can't, can we? Who told us why? Why? Who? Why? Not why. What? No, I don't care about why anymore. What gives you the authority to tell us, this large group of people, what we can and cannot do? Beaches. Reopened some beaches in Florida today, or yesterday, last night. Then you got the news media out there, CNN. Well, I'm at the beach and it doesn't look like people are doing what we told them to do. So, you know, look at this guy with his kid. They're sitting down on the beach. They're not supposed to sit on the beach. That's not an activity that was approved by the government. You fucking kidding me? I heard that today. I heard that today on CNN. So they're looking for people. Who's on our team? You're wearing a mask? Good for you. You're wearing a mask. Good job. They'll be asking for everybody's assistance. You know, in being able to round up those people who don't conform. So, be careful. I might be in jail in the near future if this continues. Come on. I'm not staying in here forever. I don't care anyways. I'll go out when I want to go out. I'll do what I want to do when I want to do it. Done. Well, that's a very, how can I put it without offending you? Well, I don't care about offending you, so I'm just going to say that you really don't think about anybody else but yourself, do you? No, not true. Untrue. Very untrue, actually. I think what we're doing right now is the exact opposite of caring. We think we're solving a problem, but we're making it worse. You know, if we're worried about deaths, you don't think this is going to amount to even more deaths? I don't know, the stress of it all, people losing their job. There's already a record homeless population in Canada and in the US, most likely, and it's growing. So what are we doing about that? Why wasn't that a problem? Because people were dying at alarming rates from stress. Stress causes cancer. Why weren't we worried about it before? We know stress causes cancer. So why aren't we more worried about being proactive and mitigating the stress? Anybody? Nobody? Fine. It's fine. It's fine. 3 concurrent viewers. That's the most viewers I've ever had on YouTube. That's true. And then it went down to 2. This is great. It's not about numbers. You know what? You know what it's about? It's about getting information out that's true as much as possible, and aligning yourself with people who don't mind talking about things. You know, like, I don't need to be right here. Please disagree with me if there's something I'm saying that doesn't make any sense. Please. Governor Cuomo, not at Apex anymore, but still not in good position. Was just talking to the president yesterday, and seems like he wants us to do all the testing. Now, how do we do all the testing if we don't have the testing units? And who do we use? What company do we... The Roche company? Do we use the Roche company? Well, if we use their system, we also gotta buy their tests. Well, there's other companies out there doing the same thing. This is silly. Don't you think this is fucking silly? You know what this is like? This is like when you have a power cord, and they keep on changing the power cord that sticks into your computer, so you can't use the same power cord. Every year they have some other kind of thing. Like it's either USB or not, it's HDMI. It's like, how many other things? Ethernet? I don't know anymore. They confuse you. Markets. It's about consumables. It's about how much can they sell the next year. They'll provide you with the equipment. These companies, out of the kindness of their heart, the generosity of their spirit, they'll make you these machines, but you gotta buy their consumables. Yeah. Because those tests that you just bought doesn't work on that machine. Capitalism. You think people are really helping here? No. They're seizing an opportunity to make money. And most people aren't getting this. So, let's talk about it. I'm coming to you live from Penticton, British Columbia, Canada. I get censored a lot. And I hope that this doesn't get censored, because this is one of those things where if it does, then we're how do you say, treading lightly, or walking on thin ice when it comes to freedoms and expression. It's a lovely day, isn't it? There's no reason to get upset now, is there? Well, is there? Like, I'm kind of upset. I'm angry. Now, how can you be angry with a smile on your face? Let me tell you. Spring, breakfast, jazz. Relaxing morning, bossa nova, jazz, music for, like, work. Pretty much anything. Study. Play. As long as you're playing by yourself. We encourage on this program, because of the COVID virus, to play by yourself. Play with yourself. Stop the spread of COVID. Play with yourself. I gotta mark that down. I gotta remember that one. That's a good one. That's hilarious. So we're heading towards the SS Michael. Yeah, just keep going this way. And then when we get there, I'm gonna make a slight right, I think. But don't worry, we'll never get there. Cheers to Kicking Horse Coffee. Thank you, Kicking Horse Coffee, for being the sponsor of this program today. I appreciate everything that Kicking Horse Coffee has done for me. Well, I've purchased every bag of coffee that I have no contact with Kicking Horse at all. It's just that it does give me a reason to wake up in the morning. Kicking Horse Coffee. It gives you a reason to get your ass out of bed. So, Boy, we're really busy today. Really popular on Facebook. All the comments that are coming in, I just can't keep up with. I really can't. There's nothing. It's dead. It's dead out there. I don't think this is getting through. It is early in the morning. And you can't watch me all the time. Like, I'm live all the time. So, please. No, if you can get 5 minutes in, if you could bear it, then you've done very well for me. Thank you. Hey, something that might help me in the very near future, because I don't have any money, and I don't want to be reliant on people donating all the time, but, you know, maybe there's something on YouTube if you subscribe or like or something like that, even if it's something you don't like, can you just share it? Can you share it? Actually, share the thing that you least like. It's probably one of my silent episodes where it's just me saying nothing. Those are good ones to watch if you don't want to enjoy anything. Alright, get back to it, monkey. I'm an entertainer! How do I entertain? While at the same time express my opinions, which are worth absolutely nothing on the market today. But how can I entertain and express those opinions at the same time? Well, I thought jazz music. Because it takes the edge off. Because I got a bit of an edge. I'm very edgy. Hope I don't come across that way. I don't care. Pence to attend Air Force Academy graduation today. These people. Air Force Academy graduation today. Well, they can get together, can't they? All these essential services like military and Walmart. FEMA. Well done. Is there a problem here? Is this on? Is this on? Are you there? It's like, at least, Mom, are you listening? Are you listening? You're not? It's alright. She's out. She's having coffee. She actually might not be even up yet. She likes sleeping in. She's retired. She can do whatever she wants. In fact, I think we should all sleep in more and do less work. I just cured cancer this morning. Yeah. And it's basically, it's very simple. Have less stress in your life. Did that sit in? Did I give that enough pause? Stress causes cancer. Stare into the camera for a little bit. Just make it sit. The music's going. This is not dead space here. This is good. Just let it sit there. Stress causes cancer. A lot of worry out there about health, dying. I like talking about death. You know why? Because we all die. It's something we all have in common. It's gonna happen. But what happens afterwards? I like talking about those things too. I think we should talk about those things more because it's pretty obvious to me. Not that it matters what's obvious to me. But it is apparent that it doesn't end. Let it sink in. Stare in the camera. It doesn't end. It never ends. Take a sip of your coffee. It's good coffee. Where were we? Trump unveils new guidelines to help states loosen restrictions. He told governors it's their decision on when and how to open. Now, it's your decision. You do what you need to do because you're the governors and you're taking care of it. But I tell you what to do. You understand? But you have to do whatever you need to do to open it. But I tell you when to open. And then the governors. We got the power, but we can't do it because we don't got the money. But we can do whatever we want. Because we're the governors. You don't control us. You're the federal government. It's like we're in grade school again, eh? That's not my job, that's his job. Now we're all like mafia bosses in grade school. He said mafia. He said mafia. What is he saying? I'm saying that government right now and businesses, mafia has gone through a series of progressions in the United States, and recently, in recent times, in the last few years, they've been heavily involved in politics and big decision making and courts and decisions. And is that true? Is that true? And we all know it, but we're not saying anything about it because we're still scared. We're scared of them? Why? They're legitimate businessmen right now, but they're fucking everything up. Hey, take Russia. Look at Russia. Do a little bit of research on Russia and where they were, about, I don't know, go back 100 years. How many people were in jailed for no reason. They grew up in the jail. They, basically, all the people that were in the jail and got released and then went into the mafia and then started killing people, killed lots of people, then started not killing as many people because they wanted to be in business. So they started being in business, but they had to kill for that too. So it was a little bit of killing, a little bit of business, shrewd business. Make sure that they won, profits before anything, really. And now guess what? They rule the government. So, Russia. Hey, guess who's buddies with Russia? The United States of America? Yeah, isn't that weird? Don't you think that's weird? Well, no, not really. You know that the government is pretty much mafia run. You know that, right? Well, I didn't think everybody knew that. So if everybody knew that, why didn't we do something about it? Anybody? Anybody? Because they were the right people to take care of it? The Antifas of the world? Cheers. To all my mafia friends, because I do have mafia friends. I too. Where are all my mafia friends? I don't have any friends. What are you talking about? I have no friends. No, I got lots of friends. I got lots of friends everywhere. But here's the deal. You're either doing something right or you're doing something wrong. There's either a shitty way of doing something, or, it can get shittier. Yeah, you can go that way, or it can get better. So there's two ways to go. Endless possibilities, too. Both sides. We got to get to the middle. And that's what you're missing. So if you still want the power, if you want to maintain this power, I got some ideas on how to be more compassionate. Okay, so people change, right? Things change. You know, we're not all cold-blooded killers just because we, killed a few people. Doesn't mean that, right? That we can't change. That's true, isn't it? Okay, clean slate. Let's do this right this time. Today. We start today with our own selves. We look inside ourselves and we say, have I screwed someone around recently? And am I going to continue to do that today? So right now, today, I'm making a decision that I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be honest. That's very important. So that means not telling lies. I don't know if that sunk in yet. If anybody's listening of any importance that makes these calls. But here's the deal, dude. Most of these politicians are puppets, really. They don't get me wrong. These guys benefit from it hugely. But guess who benefits from it more? It's the people that are on top that have bought these governments. Right? Who are those people? The really, really wealthy people. The Bezos of the world. The Bill Gateses. You want to talk about Bill Gates? He sure likes his vaccines, eh? Heavily invested in vaccines. What? Wasn't he into computers? Yeah, one time. Not as much anymore, I don't think. He's more into vaccines and curbing the population of the world. Are we good with this? I sure the hell hope not. Hey, Melanie Escamilla! On YouTube. There she is. I just had to look. I was on Facebook that whole time. Here, I'm going to open them up. I'm going to open up both of them. So then I know. I know exactly who I'm talking to, and I'm going to be more attentive to it, too. Because I feel this is a conversation that we're having. Should be more of a conversation anyways. I'll continue talking. Oh yeah, I'll continue talking. But don't expect gems. Like every moment. Although 90%. I think I'm working on about 90% right now. 10% of the stuff I put out there is just fails. Is it true though? Is it true? What are we talking about? Jazz music. So we got going now is a little jazz music. It's like spring breakfast jazz. Watching a little news. Drinking a little coffee. Having a little talk with my friend, Melanie Escamilla. Hey Melanie, what's going on? What are we talking about today? What's important to you that you feel we should be talking about? I think we should be playing more music, don't you? I got an idea. Here's my idea, if you're still there. Are you still there? I'm not going to waste my idea if you're not still there. I'm going to tell you my idea anyways. Here's my idea. I was thinking about this yesterday, but the idea came to me before, and you've already touched on it a few times already. I think we'd be on the same page on this one idea. There's many ideas, but this is one of them. You ready for it? You ready for it? All right, so albums. That's right. Think about it. Albums. My proposition is that we get permission, and maybe you can find a way to get permission to do this. And I think most bands would be really into doing this. Is that we play nonstop for a duration of time like a week or something like that, the same album over and over again, and we just have conversation over that album. I think that would be a lot of fun. One album for the week. Every day we set a time, maybe a half hour, whatever, however long the album is actually. Hour and a half. We listen to the album. And we have a little discussion over it. It doesn't have to be about the album. You know, sometimes we could just be listening to the music because we want to listen to it. Maybe we want to sing to it. Who knows? I wonder if we can get permission to do that, like as friends, Melanie. You know, because none of us make money off of this, right? So let's do that. If it's a good idea, if you like it. If you don't, then let's talk about it later. So there you go. That was my huge idea, because I feel that there's something about an album, because it was meant to be listened to as an album. It wasn't meant to be listened to as a song. And people can cherry pick from that and then just play that one song over and over again. It was meant to be listened to as an album. And some albums have a lot of great music on it, but we've never heard it because we don't own the album, let's say. But in combination, you and I probably own a crap load of albums. I think it's a good idea. I'm going to think about it a little bit more. But these musicians, they put it together as an album. It's an experience. It's a show. They put together a whole show for you. And for some reason, we lost sight of that. Most likely, it's because we don't have time anymore to listen to something through to the end. We've been too busy. So, I think overall, this is the cure for cancer, by the way. Overall, it's going to reduce stress. So, you and I, we just cured stress. Cancer. Stress and cancer. Just by having that idea. No, that's not true. Well, maybe. Maybe we did. Maybe it goes towards the overall cure for cancer and COVID and lung disease. Heart disease. People die. All the time. I know. I keep on going back to it, but here's the deal. There's a lot of finger pointing going on, huh? In the world. And there's a lot of smoke screens going on. Like, do you ever ask yourself, what other stories are they not covering that they don't want you to see? Because they've got this coronavirus thing happening and they're using it as a leverage or a smokescreen of some kind so that you don't see what the other hand is doing. So basically, with the other hand, they got the other hand up your ass, controlling your every movement, stopping you on the highway, swabbing you. This can't be good, right? Martial law. What's FEMA about? And how much power does FEMA have now in the United States of America? Now that the power has been given to them. Is that true? FEMA's military, right? Given a lot of power to the military. Yeah, I start to understand the reason why people in the United States is different than in Canada, but in the United States that they I bet you gun sales are up. They like their guns, right? Well, they like their guns because there's a paranoia out there, and rightly felt, that the government will come in and completely take over. Military. I think that's what they're worried about. A lot of them. But violence never solves anything. So it's kind of a losing, even though I understand why you want your guns, it's still a losing battle. Nothing's ever going to change if you pick up arms against another person or another entity. We could take them down other ways that don't involve violence. Hit them where it hurts. Where's that? Their pocketbook. So don't do business with them anymore. Walmarts. Pharmaceutical companies. Get off those meds. You know, the meds that you shouldn't be on because your body's saying, you know what, we could have done this. And depression is something other than what dangerous territory, my friend. You'll be responsible for people getting off their meds. Yeah, I think it's time for people to think about getting off of their meds. Here's the reason why. Do you want to know the reason why? Did you know I'm a doctor? Yeah, I've got a PhD and a doctorate in kinesiology. No, I don't. I don't have anything. I'm shy 3 courses of a Bachelor of Theology. That is the truth. Okay, so here it goes. You want to know why? You want to know why I think you should get off your meds? Let's just talk about depression medication. Because that's the easiest for me. I know more about depression than anybody. There's nobody more depressed than me. Nobody. Well, you must know depression. Yeah. There's nobody more depressed than me. So it makes me an expert. Spring. Breakfast jazz. Relaxing morning bossa nova jazz music. Well, this works for pretty much anything, really. Like if you're studying. There's not much studying going on there right now, eh? Schools are all closed. This isn't so bad for the kids. Shitty for the parents. Because they had the whole school system taking care of their kids this whole time. Now it's like, oh, what do I fucking do with these kids? Shouldn't have had them. That's probably true. If you don't want to spend time with your kids, you probably shouldn't have had them. But you got them now, so spend time with them. And how about you teach them? What? Is that a possibility? Yeah, it's a possibility. Why don't you teach your kids? Huh? Maybe you teach them like real history, as opposed to the indoctrinated history that we've all gotten in high school and public school and university. Teach him about science, like science that's happening now, as opposed to what happened in the, what's that textbook? That textbook was from 30 years ago! 30 years? Science? I got a really good science teacher. Really on top of the current stuff. Not to say that the older texts aren't something that we should be going to. I'm saying that we need all of it. The wide spectrum. And we're not getting the spectrum. So, teach your kids. Be the spectrum in your kids' education. Or not. Or just trust that the education system that the government set out for you is doing the job that's required that a parent would do otherwise. Too much? Food banks see surge in demand as unemployment soars. Residents should brace for hail the size of comets. Call now to schedule your appointment. Cancer isn't just... It's all we do. That's all we do is cancer at the cancer. Well, we just solved cancer. We solved that whole issue. That pandemic. You know, cancer is, in theory, is contagious. Highly contagious, actually. Seeing that cancer is a direct result of stress. And there sure seems to be a whole lot of fear and anxiety on the television, and we're not doing the same things. I had to stand in a square that was lined out by tape and then I had to get to the next square to get to the cashier. I know approximately what 6 feet is. I don't know. But there are going to be times where I'm not going to be just 6 feet away from you. Especially if I'm walking down an aisle. You think I'm going to go around every time for everybody? We're not doing that. We don't do that. It doesn't work. It's unrealistic. This 6 feet rule. We've been dealing with disease and flus and all sorts of things. Contagious viruses, sexually transmitted diseases, things of that nature. And, give us the information. We'll evaluate. We'll take the right precautions, won't we? Yes, we will. Because when you trust the people, you get trust back. It's one thing you should listen to. That's something that should be written down. If you don't trust anyone, you don't get trust back. That's true. But right now, I don't trust you, government, to tell us what to do, to make decisions for us that we've been making for a long, long time. So that was like... Is that loud enough? The jazz music? I feel like I might be too loud right now. I'm going to step back a little bit. Let's gather our thoughts. Let's figure out where to go next. What are we looking at? We got 58 minutes. Not that we should care about time too much, but, should we? Should we? An hour seems appropriate, and if you do, 3 of these a day, that's 3 hours worth of work. That's about as much as I want to do a day, to be honest. Because I got other things to do. I got the park to go walk in. I got my senior friends that are congregating over at that white building. I want to go visit them one time today. Crow's back. Quinn Bucktooth, did you just send me something? Oh, that was from yesterday. Last night. Got it. What's going on here? I pressed the wrong button, but let's take this opportunity to send Quinn a video. Hey, Quinn. This is Tom. I'm doing a show right now. Live. YouTube. Live on Facebook. No big deal. Pretty popular person. I don't know why I'm sending you this message. I thought you sent me a message today, and then I pressed the wrong button, and then the camera came up, and then I thought, well, why not? So I did it. So now I'm stopping the video, and I'm going to send it to you. And that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did, word for word. It's live. Coming to you live from the Beaumont Motel, room 240, Penticton, British Columbia, Canada. Hey, you know what? I'm going to post this on Facebook. If you do like the show, if you could just do me a favor and go to YouTube and subscribe to my shit, the stuff that I do. If you like it, if you don't. Actually, if you don't like it and you like me and you think I'm trying, at least he's trying. Well, can you just give me a little bump? Because I have nothing on YouTube, and it's the only way that I think I can make any cash so we can continue doing this, because I feel like there's value to it. And I don't do anything that I don't believe there's value to. Hence, not working in this town for $20 an hour for any company for an hourly wage. I can't do hourly. It doesn't make any sense for anybody to work hourly. But that's for another time. Maybe we could talk about trade next time. That would be nice. I'd like to talk about trade a little bit more. So for now, I am going to end this off. What do we call this today? Is this Tea in Space or this Tommy Cowles Live? Doesn't matter. I'm leaving. Melanie Escamilla in the house. Producer. Yeah, that's right. We got ourselves a producer now. And, I don't know, I got some ideas. And I think they're gonna work. I got some faith in this. It's got legs. I've done it before. In a different way. This is a different format, but I think it's gonna work. I know it's gonna work. It's already worked. What? You just blew my fucking mind. Yeah, it's already worked. Do you know how time works? You gotta trust it. Is there any last thoughts before we leave? I'd like to take this to its natural conclusion, which is probably the end of this song. What's the Color of COVID? Airs tonight, 10 p.m. on CNN. Very interesting that this particular virus affects black men in particular and black Asian men more severely than regular people. Regular people. Oh, it's horrible. Why'd you say that? Why'd you say that? You don't mean it. They're not regular? Of course they're regular people. You just misinterpreted everything I fucking said. And now I'm a racist. You know, this virus is different for sure. I tried talking to that lady yesterday that I knew in town about it. Said it's a different virus. She did say something about that, and I said, yeah. Well, they're all different, right? And I go into it, yeah, they're all different, but different strains, and the next strain is worse than the last strain. That's how it goes. So our body has to adapt, and our body is very good at adapting to these things. And I think that I didn't make that point clear, and maybe that's the reason why I didn't finish when I finished. What were we talking about? What were we talking about? Look at this cute dog. Huh? Commercials. You gotta love them. Insurance. Yeah, we need more insurance like we need a hole in the head. Is that music still going? Thanks. Thanks, guys. Thanks for everything. Spring breakfast jazz. Relaxing morning bossa nova jazz music for study, work, pretty much anything, to be honest with you. And you know me, I like to be honest. Awkward ending.